Hi guys, Julie the Oracle here. So I decided to ask a different question today. What did the cards tell me? They brought out the Knight of Coins, which is going to be more of a career reading, but it doesn't have to be about career. I think that it's related to career or making money or some new opportunity for most of you guys. So I have a new deck that I'm excited. This is called the Spectro World Tarot. I got it on Etsy and it's very colorful. So I love it because I'm all about the color. It just looks like color threw up everywhere, but that's one of the things I love about it. I might go for something a little bit different next time that could be more black and white too. I like to challenge myself in reading different types of cards. Not everything is going to be so easy to read. So I think it helps my intuition. But I love this deck, and I have a few oracle cards for you as well. So for this one, I'm asking, what came to mind was, should you accept the offer? So please keep in mind, everybody's story is different. Many of you are going to be, you'll be watching this now. Some of you will be watching this years from now. Who knows? It's timeless. So I'm blind reading for somebody out there or multiple people out there. I don't know who you are. I don't know your situation, but I do know that an offer has come to you. It might be something you were waiting on, something you were hoping for. But my question is, should you accept the offer? So please take what resonates and leave the rest. So we'll start. I just pulled 6 cards on it. Let me get my water while I can. So we got the Death card. I love this card. This is very colorful for death, but death and rebirth, you know, transformation, the typical things. I love it. So this is, I just see, like, in this card, I see super excitement because whatever, you know, you guys have received an offer. Everybody has an offer. I don't know what kind of offer that was. First, for the most of you, though, I get that this is some type of new opportunity. It could be a change in career, you know, a job, something that you were bored with. You were bored with, you know, maybe it became mundane, and maybe it's like, I hate the commute. You know, you just felt like you were going through the motions, and you realized, like, you felt not dead inside, you know, like the Death card. You felt dead inside, but more like you felt numb. We've all been there. We've had these jobs where you wake up and you're just like, why do I even bother? You know, and that makes sense to me because I've been there as well. You know, when you work something and you think you're very passionate about it, but then things start to go sideways and you're just not being treated well. You know, there are people out there, like, they didn't treat me well either. I actually became a pastry chef and I was so excited to get out and bake. And I was a baking queen, okay? I loved what I did. And I would step in and help other people do cookies and cakes and bars. And, you know, I don't remember if we made pies or not, but we were always coming up with new stuff, new ideas that hadn't been used yet. So I enjoyed it. But at some point, I just felt like I wasn't very appreciated. You know, I wasn't paid well at all. You try to get into, you know, the restaurant business. Those of you who know, it is not easy in getting in. It is hard work. It's long hours. You know, everything hurts. Your back hurts after you're standing all day. And you don't get paid very well unless you start moving your way up. And like, I haven't worked in the savory restaurant business. I will say the place I worked at, you know, it was owned by just some people who thought they knew how to run a business. I'll be honest. And they didn't. Because they just thought, well, let me just look up and take all these generic recipes from, you know, regular people out there. They weren't trying to do anything special. And they bought the place. It came with some amazing recipes already, but those were not their idea. And I loved working at first, but they treated me kind of like a child. Like, they treated me like I had no schooling, and that was so insulting. Let me just tell you, that was insulting. I made $8 an hour. When I got super sick with an upper respiratory infection, you know, you can't work around food when you're sick. They just sent me home, which is the right thing to do. However, I didn't have any medical, you know, and I wasn't able to easily go to the doctor. You can't just go and get in. You got to pay out of pocket. And if you need medicine, it's going to, you know, be through the roof. and they had to give me samples of things to get, better. When people don't take care of themselves, it can have long-lasting damage and effects. And I really do think that somewhere in there, the illness that I had, I do think it affected me long-term, whether that affected me, my inner ear, my vertigo, the issues I have now. And I also think it could have affected my thyroid. It could have been what really, sometimes they say that can affect thyroid. Who knows why it gets thrown off. I was fine up until the year after I worked. And then boom, all of a sudden I have hypothyroidism disease. And, they don't really know what causes some of these things, but they do think that some types of infections and things like that, if you're not taking care of yourself, it can cause problems. I am not a medical doctor, so, disclaimer, just so you know. But this is just my personal experience with what went down, and it sucked. $8 an hour, no medical, so if you missed work, you missed work. And it got to be the point where they were trying to show me how to do things. It's like, you have no experience, you're trying to show me, the person who just, spent a lot of money to go through pastry school, and you're acting like I don't know how to do things. Now, given pastry school wasn't perfect, I did pay a lot of money, like it was private in a way, and I still owe a lot because they didn't really help me get a job or maintain a job, unfortunately. So I don't really work in the industry anymore, but I do bake still. I still have a love of cooking, baking, you name it. But that wasn't a great experience for me, just because they just started being down on me. And actually, I did a year worth of cakes, and they were beautiful cakes, and I was doing a really bang-up job. And then it's like I had one or two little mishaps, and that's a matter of like, okay, well, if you're gonna use black icing or, dark colored icing, it does bleed onto white icing. Something you need to be aware of. If you order a cake, it can happen. So, and people can try to fix it. It took two of us trying to fix it. But, because there was one or two issues with a cake, something didn't quite come out right in the order. Like, they give you an order, whoever took it, I went by what they put. But, it fell on me, because it always does, doesn't it? I mean, nobody else is to blame but me. And I thought I did a great job on those, but on some of them, not so great. Not so great. I was pretty new to things and inexperienced, and it should have been done a little bit better, but it was difficult to figure out how to, do the things. I had to learn how to make these icing paper sheets. You could print edible ink on edible paper and then affix it to the icing. That was kind of cool. I just wish I'd been able to do that better too, because it was cool. People could put their own personal pictures on there. Pretty funny. But that aside, yeah, as much fun as I had, eventually they came down on me really hard. Just for a couple of little things, like a year's worth of cakes and two things. They were not treating me well after that. And then they actually gave a waitress my job. I was the head baker for a while, and they sent me into the kitchen to just cut fruit all day. And I remember sitting there cutting fruit and feeling like the acid stinging my fingers. And, I literally was sitting there with my back to everybody crying. Because I was like, this is not what I signed up for. This did not fulfill my soul. It did not make me happy whatsoever. Cutting fruit, and then, I looked at how awful they were in the kitchen. They're great people in there. No, it wasn't the people, but the food. Like, okay, you're going to use frozen chicken bits, and then you're just going to throw that in a pan, and you're going to cover it with cream of mushroom soup, and then you're going to put crushed crackers on it, and then you're going to charge people $15 for it? I don't think so. This ain't filet mignon. So, it was ridiculous having to do all that prep, and I had to prep, like, soups and everything. I learned a little bit about how making bases and stuff, so, if I got a little bit of prep work in, I think that there was some experience there. But, yeah, it was very disappointing, though. As much as I love the cooking aspect of it, it's not what I wanted to do. I mean, I spent all this time and money to learn how to be a pastry chef, and they threw me in the kitchen, and I had to cringe because I sat there, and just because the waitress brown-nosed the owner and had her head up her ass, pardon my French, like, that's how it was. I'm telling you. They got to be so besties or something, and suddenly she took my job. And that waitress, I watched her, like, try to do a crumb coat on a cake, and it was just painstaking. Like, she was tearing up the cake. She didn't know what she was doing. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? You enjoy that, because when they complain about what the cake looks like from here, good luck, because it's not going to be pretty. But letting the waitress do it, no. And eventually, you know, I decided to quit because I was like, nope, I'm not going to do this. Like, you know, their other baker had a lot of problems with them too. She complained and complained and complained, and they didn't pay her enough, and she was doing a lot of beautiful cakes. She could have been on Food Network, I'm telling you. But they weren't treating her very well, and, you know, she was going to have a child, and you can't do anything on $8 an hour. She might have been making a few more bucks than me, but she deserved better too. So you always know if there's talk, sometimes places aren't good to work at. Anyway, I digress. But so those of you who have worked in the industry, you know what it is, working in retail, working in food service, and it's just constant. Like, I even had to go out and I was like bussing tables and delivering food. They shared a few tips for me, but I can see how hard it is for people to get tips. I was like, wow, like, I made a whole, like, you know, $5. And these days people don't get anything. Sorry, I take a sip of water, but. So, yeah, I mean, some of you are just like, this is a new opportunity. You're excited. Look at all the color coming out of this skull. Like, it's happy. You know, the mouth is open and color's coming out. Like, all these new ideas, this new opportunity. The way I look at it, at this death card, is that it is going to change your life. So, in this case, if some of you have this opportunity in front of you, you finally got this job offer and it's everything that you wanted, this card says take it. This card says it's going to change your life for the better. You know, there are pros and cons to everything, so I'll try to look at everything in every way. So, this could change your life. And then you have the Page of Wands here. I love how beautiful this is. Look at all the stars and the swirls, and I love it. These wands are just like, it's crazy. If you look really close, though, you know, these little spirals and things, I'm looking and I notice like it almost looks like a sun. Then you've got the stars here. It almost looks like an upside down light bulb. These were hand painted by an artist, and then they took the images and put them on the cards, and I just think that they're amazing. I look and there's ivy growing on there too. Wow. Okay. But the Page of Wands, that's forward progress for me. Like, you know, the Page of Wands, that's someone who's very creative. And so this could be a very creative endeavor for you. And it's up to you. Like, you've got the wand in your hand. Like, here's your opportunity. Are you going to take it? Are you going to push forward with it? You know, that would require you to accept the offer. You know, and the Wands is all about that creativity. Is it going to fulfill that creative side of you? Is it going to fulfill your passion and your emotion, everything? You know, I saw a meme the other day and talking about how, you know, sometimes a job is just a job, and that, you know, there's limiting beliefs on both sides of this, and I just want to explain it real quick because it bothers me. I get that the limiting belief is that you have to just go out and get a job and work a job to survive. You do, for the most part, yes. And people are like, just go get anything you can. Really drives me nuts when people say that, because I had that job. I had a job I liked, but as soon as it wasn't something I liked anymore, I woke up crying with my alarm, because I'm thinking, I'm depressed. I couldn't stand the job anymore. I was put down at work. I was belittled. I was treated like utter crap. And it made me upset. And it's like, I didn't look forward to getting up anymore. I didn't even want to wake up at times. It's like, if you're that depressed that you don't give a shit whether you wake up or not, that's a problem. Do you really think, oh, it's just a job? Yeah, $8 an hour is not cutting it. People need to realize that you tell someone to just go out and get a job and get whatever you can. Getting whatever you can does not solve your problems. Getting whatever you can leads you to depression. It leads to mental health issues, physical health issues, emotional health issues. It can put you in a bind where you're like not making the money. Yeah, I got a job like everybody told me to do, but it's not paying my bills. It's not making ends meet. I can't put food on the table. I can't even get a new shirt because mine has a hole in it. So it's ridiculous. And you can tell that I'm revved up on this one because it drives me nuts, because I've been going through this whole entire situation this past couple of years. This is the longest I've ever been out of work, quote unquote, because, you know, I'm so used to always going out and getting that job and getting that job and getting that job, you know, and even if I had a temporary job and those jobs ended and I went to the next job, and even if it would last about 2 years and then the company would shut down or have a takeover or something. And it's like, okay, there's a reason these things are happening. The reason is I don't belong in this field and I've got to find what I love to do. And the meme that I saw this weekend was all about, well, there's also this notion that you have to love what you do. Sometimes a job is just a job. I don't agree with that all the time. I don't agree with that. Yes, sometimes you just work a job, but I think that there's an aspect that you need to at least like what you do to a degree so that it isn't depressing you in some way. Because if you're unhappy with it, you're not going to be productive. You're not going to try. There's no effort. You don't care, you know? You just get to a point where you don't care about yourself anymore. And you're not going to care if you're late or what. I mean, I cared, but I showed up and it's like, why did I bother? So looking at this, it's like, is it going to fulfill you? And I think that for those of you that have artistic hearts like myself, that love doing these type of things, making art, creating, being hands-on, if you like to be hands-on, you know, Page of Wands right there. You've been handed an opportunity, take it. You know, take it and run with it if it's going to be right for you. Is it going to put food on the table and keep a roof over your head? That's really important too. If it's something that you're really excited about and you know that it's going to pay well, it's going to have benefits, you know, and you're going to be able to live comfortably, yeah, go ahead. Why not? You know, it's a new adventure. And that's the Page of Wands is all about, you know, at least in this card, what I'm seeing is that he's got the wand and he's ready to go on an adventure. And he's facing the future and he's like, let's move. Let's go forward. Let's do this. So you've got to, I say, use discernment there, and you hear that word often, but yeah, you pay attention to it because it's important. Because then we have the Five of Coins over here. And this is a very beautiful, colorful, you know, Five of Coins. I'm like, ooh, candy. Have you seen that Family Guy episode? I think I don't know if I brought this up last time, but I keep thinking about that episode. I got to see that sometime. Again, it's always the James Woods episodes on Family Guy where he's like, ooh, piece of candy. I love that. That's what it reminds me of. They like look like pieces of candy. So, but this is the coins. I mean, it represents money if you want to go with the traditional meaning, but the 5 can mean that it could be challenging. This could be a challenging new job for you or opportunity. You know, maybe you're a contractor, or, you know, whatever it is that you're doing that's, or maybe you're trying to do something new like me. You're over here trying to make money and it's going to be hard. There's going to be obstacles. It's going to be challenging. And if you like challenging, bring it on. I mean, go for it. When we say, like, should you accept this offer? Yeah, I mean, it looks like you have a big adventure ahead of you. Like, it's going to change your life. It's going to be a big adventure for you to do this. I think it's going to be exciting to your soul. But the Five of Coins is just like, hey, remember, you know, we want you to remember first that this is going to be, there's going to be obstacles. It's going to be challenging. There could be conflicts with it. Like, there's going to be pros and cons, and you need to heavily consider those before you accept this offer. Because the Eight of Coins over here is talking about, the Eight of Coins is great. That can be, you know, I always look at it as working on yourself, but in this case, this is whether you should accept the offer. This is somebody who's working hard and they're making bank. I mean, this is it. It's like, you got to consider those pros and cons, but look at this. I mean, this is a lot of coinage right here. I love it. And, you know, I'm looking at the symbols that are in here, and I don't know what they mean or if they mean anything at all, but it's very interesting. I don't know. That one looks like fire. I don't know if you could even see that, but these little symbols that are in here are really cool. And I love how cool it is. It says 8 of coins, and there's 2 main coins here. I kind of look at this as the juggle. The juggle between you deciding, like, is this going to be for me or should I say no? But, I mean, there's 8 coins here. There's 8 altogether. So you got to make that decision, and the rest will start flowing in. So I think it's a card of abundance in this case. 8 of coins is great. If you, in the traditional, you know, Rider-Waite-Smith, the 8 of coins is somebody's working hard to complete. He's trying to complete his task and make whatever it is he's trying to make. He's making money. But, you know, if you look at the After Tarot, you know, he's completed the project. So I think that this is something it's going to help you feel fulfilled, at least on the financial end of things. It's going to be good. I think that as long as you consider the pros and cons and you make a firm decision, you're going to do, you're going to do well. It's going to be successful, but it's going to depend on you doing the hard work. You're going to have to put in a lot of effort. So it sounds to me like it's a big creative endeavor, but it's a big opportunity. And even if it could be a job offer, but if this is something you're taking on, like an artist takes on commissions, right? So maybe you're taking on a commission and you're trying to decide if it's going to be worth it. If you can do artwork like this, hell yeah, go ahead. Take it. I mean, believe in yourself. And then we have 2 cards that are in reverse. We have the World card. I'm going to show it to you upright. This is pretty. I love it. This is the first time I've seen it. And it does have, it's like, look at that, 2 in a row. It's got 2, well, actually 3 infinity signs. Look at the lion. There's a lion down here for Leo, but there's a sun. And then I can't tell if that's supposed to be Capricorn or what that's supposed to be. But I love the symbolism in these things. And I can't tell you what everything is. It could mean something to you. But this is the World in reverse. We think of beginnings and endings and cycles. And so I'm trying to remember when I first laid down this card, something came to me, but it was the World card. So it's not over. So I don't know if some of you are considering keeping the job you have. If you got an offer and it's like, maybe that 5 of coins means it's not paying you as much as you thought. If you're like, well, I'm making better money at the job I am now. Well, if you're doing okay at the job you are and you just thought maybe you'd kind of level up and this job offer came in and you're disappointed because when you found out how much it was, you were thinking, wow, everything sounded great, but I'm going to be paid less. It might be less, but it depends. If you're starting a whole new career, if you're doing like a shift to something new that you've never done before, or maybe you've been doing like the rat race for so many years, going to a desk job, living in a cubicle city, can't stand it anymore. And then you're like, wow, I'm going to this thing where I'm going to be an artist. Maybe you're finally just going into your own business and you're running it, and you may have to take a loss. And I say that, well, I mean, it's going to take, like I said, there's obstacles here, so it's going to be a challenge. Any type of, I don't know why I can't say the word now. Entrepreneur? Did I say that wrong? I said it wrong. Can't even say it. But anytime that you're going to start your own business or you're starting some new, I like the word endeavor. I don't know why that's coming out, but somebody likes that word. But this new thing that you're doing, yeah, there's going to be a few setbacks with it. You're going to have to start from scratch, especially if you're not transitioning from, what you were doing before to something else that you're doing but better. If you're not leveling up in a job that you've already been doing, then this is something completely different. It makes sense to me that you would end up working on it like you're gonna end up having to make some sacrifices. That's what I want to say. And yeah, you may not make as much money right away, and it's gonna take time. Because maybe you've been manifesting this and like, okay, I want to do this. Maybe you are aware of the pros and cons and you're like, it is going to take really hard work. You're going to have to hustle in order to try to get back up to where you were. If you want to get to the type of safety and security financially that you were at. That's what this World card is about. It's telling you, you're going to have to start from scratch again. You're going to have to start a little bit lower. But if this is something you really want to do, you know that you're going to make it work. It's going to be successful. And the Magician is over here in reverse, and I'll show that one to you upright. And I love it because you can see the cup down here, and then you have this piece of candy. It's I love how it looks like the coins look like candy, but and then it definitely shows the sword in there as well. And then the wands are kind of going around it. I love it. It's a beautiful card. But this is the Magician, and it's in reverse. So that tells me that you've manifested what you've been hoping for, something new to come along. You've been wanting to start off and strike out on your own. Some of you, everybody's in a different place. So some of you just wanted a better job, and you're getting a better job. Some of you are wanting to go in a whole new direction. It's never too late in life to just go, you know what? I want to do this now. Because you're looking for a more peaceful way of life. A lot of you are looking for the same thing that I was. I really feel that you are tired of cubicle city. You're tired of commuting an hour home every day going, oh, I'm tired of this. I'm in, rush hour traffic, and it's not like nobody's rushing. You're stuck in a traffic jam. either going to work or coming home or both. So you were manifesting. Well, you manifested. It's here. The opportunity is now. So with the opportunity, it's now, and it's going to be hard work, but basically, yeah, this is going to change your life. You're changing your life. It's going to be much more fulfilling to you in a passionate way, in a creative way, but you weighed the pros and cons, but you know that you're going to have to do the work. You're going to have to hustle to make that money, because you're going to have to start a little bit lower than you meant to. You're going to have some setbacks. So starting something entirely new for some of you, you know the rule. You're going to have to make up time and money. But you wanted this, and it's here. You've manifested it. You've created it. Now it's here. And Temperance is on the bottom, and that tells me it's going to take time. And that's what this is about here with the reverse. Temperance is going to take time. You're going to have to find that work-life balance, because when it's you and you're the one in the driver's seat and you're the one making the decisions, because you're the one in charge. You're the boss of yourself. That's it. So you're going to have to, it's going to take time and hard work to get up to this point where you're feeling like, this again. And that's just how it's going to be. But I can see that your soul is seeking it, because I was tired of it too. I was tired of the rat race. And you don't want that anymore. You're realizing that life is short and life is very precious. You got friends, you've got family, you have things that are near and dear to you that you want to experience. You'd like to take a vacation. You'd like to, go have adventures, and you want to spend more time at home. Maybe you want to just sit at home on a quiet evening and read a book. Who knows? But, what it is that you want, you just want more peace in your life. You want more quiet. You want what's important to you, and that's why you're making these changes. That's the most important thing. So whatever you choose, make sure that this new job, new opportunity, whatever it may be, you weigh those pros and cons, and you tell yourself, is this going to give me the life I want? Is this new endeavor, it's going to be an adventure and all that, it's going to be creative. It's going to take a lot of hard work, but is it going to put me in a place where I can stay home and spend time with my family? I can be my own boss. I can set my own hours. Hey, I want to stay up late. I can stay up late. I want to sleep in. I can sleep in. I can spend time taking my family on a vacation. You have all these opportunities. You can work from home. All these things where you get to be your own boss, and as long as it provides for you in a very, in a financially stable manner, you should be fine. So I think that's the best thing. Let me look at the oracle cards we have here. Yes. Wow. Okay. I called myself out here. I was the same way, which is why I'm doing this. Is it making me money yet? No. This is why I asked, if you do like my readings, if you can walk away going, that was worth it to watch that. I needed to hear that. If you got a message in it and it resonated with you, please subscribe. Please like, comment, let me know where it's at. I like hearing your stories. If you got a new opportunity, I would love to know if you decided to take it or leave it. Let me know. But this is why I think that we all ask for, subscribing helps me. Even if you subscribe and you don't watch a video ever again, you're still helping me. So, because if I can get to the right amount of subscribers, I can actually make this, a stream of revenue that could support me. And if I do that, I would be so much better off. And I'm trying to do this because I love doing this, and it's passion. This is my passion, doing this for you all. And it's my way of giving back. You guys don't have to pay for this reading. You get it for free, but I could get paid if I have enough people that want to watch this channel and want to comment and like, and who knows, and then that could lead to other things. So I can be as creative as I want with this. And that is one thing that just feeds my soul, is that I love doing this. And I love that I can think up all these really cool ideas. And please let me know. I am willing to take subscriber, questions. If they want me to ask a question and then do a reading on it, I'm open to that. Give me the challenge, bring it on. I love it. And that's my challenge and my passionate new job, if you want to call it. If this is my job, I'm happy. I just needed to pay the bills. That's all I needed to do. Right now, is it quite doing that? No, not really. But like I said, for me, same thing. Pros and cons. I've got to hustle. I've got to work hard to do this. I do have my Etsy shop, and I am adding stuff every day. And my little niche is going to be all about, the paranormal and the metaphysical and the spiritual. So, there's going to be a lot of little tarot related things on there and things. And I'm still learning as I go how to make different products. But, if you like what you see, by all means, make a purchase. If you see those readings on there, I've reduced the price down. Somebody suggested I reduce it down. It's hard to compete. And just on a side note, I just want to say it is hard to compete because a lot of those cheap, those readings out there that you get, I've noticed I've gone and checked them out trying to look at well, how are they making money with this? If you're only offering a quick 3-card reading for, anywhere from $1 to $5, what are you getting from that? And people are paying left and right. And I've seen a lot of dissatisfied customers just on the fact that it appears that they're using ChatGPT, which you can, to do a quick 3-card reading, but that's just a general reading of a traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, and that basically just gives you the interpretation of the card, but that doesn't tell you anything about your life. A good reader is gonna at least try to hone in on something that will sit with you and you'll resonate with it. So I don't know. I would not pay for a reading if I thought that an AI was going to be answering me, because that person didn't answer you, an AI did. And that means that they're just taking your money and giving you an AI answer. And the AI, it's not sentient. It's not, it doesn't have the intuition. It just has the basic knowledge of, a historical tarot set. So that's it. Just to keep that in mind. Some of those readers could be really doing it, but I don't know. I would pay more. But my readings are down to $10, and I'm thinking of making some changes. I did the weather thing before. I might try it again. I do like giving readings like that, and people are like, I don't know if I need to watch this. So, I don't know. It might be something worth doing. I just like doing it because I studied meteorology, and I love the weather too. So, but I may change that one. That could be changed to weathering the storm or something like that. Somebody gave me that idea, and I want to give them credit for that at a tarot group. So, if I do, that could be it could end up turning into just a weather-related, a spread. It has weather terms in it, but that spread could be about weathering life. So I don't know. If you like that idea, let me know. I'd be happy to do that spread in a whole different manner. It might be something that I change. I could do that. I've always wanted to do something weather, and so I am trying to do weather-related tarot stuff, just because I like it, and I've always been a weather intuitive. Living here in Oklahoma, it's just I was born into the earth, I've always been connected. So I've picked up on weather things. I've had weather dreams. I've predicted tornadoes. It's the weirdest thing. But that aside, yeah, I digress again. So your oracle cards. I have a Rumi card here. It's number 12. It says Divine Discontent. I love that. And these are all colorful, so I like these cards. They're all over the place, just like the color. And this blue really shines. Divine Discontent. I think that that's where I was when I was stuck in that. I was stuck in stagnancy with that, baking job that I had as a head baker. When they took it away from me, it's like they took the light out of my eyes, my soul. I didn't do what I loved anymore, and I was discontent. But the divine has a way of helping you. So these new opportunities coming in, don't be discontent. For some of you, you need to trust your intuition here. Trust that gut instinct. If something says do it, go for it, or if you get Nike'd, just do it kind of thing. Do it. Go for it. Take that adventure. But trust your gut. If it says don't take this one, wait for the next one, do that too. But you are going to have that knowing within your body somewhere that's telling you whether you should take this opportunity or not. So do you take the offer? That's up to you. You've got the free will to do it. If you miss an opportunity, sometimes that door will reopen later on down the road. And if not, just use your best judgment. So I've got the Ascendant Oracle here. Soul work. Again, this is about what makes your soul happy. I do think that there is something, how do I say this? There's something with the soul here. There's something with working career-wise. When people do something that they love, what's that saying? If you do something that you love, you never work a day in your life. I do think that there is some truth to that. That's why I'm so adamant on disagreeing that a job is just a job for some people. For some people, those people that don't lean into their intuition, that don't care, then they're just working, but they end up just becoming a working ant. You know, those little worker ants or worker bees where they're just like, it's like you're a drone at some point. You just go to work, you do what you do. You don't love it, you don't hate it, you don't care. I think at some point you just become numb and it's like autopilot. But I think doing soul work, I think sometimes what you do for a living, what you do for these opportunities, these offers that come into your life, don't miss it, because it's going to be good for your soul. It's good for your mind, your body, your heart, your soul, everything. You know, it'll be good for you mentally and emotionally and hopefully physically. Because if you can't do like physical work, right? So you don't want to be doing something where you're doing heavy lifting or construction or something like that, where, you know, you're stuck out in all kinds of conditions and you're just on your feet all day, and that could break your body down faster than anything. So doing something different, you might decide, like, you know what, I'm just going to give it all up. I'm going to work in a nursery or something. Like, I say a nursery, like planting trees and flowers, or, you know, or maybe you decide to work on a farm. That'd still be hard work. Or maybe you decide, I'm going to throw it all away. I'm going to learn how to make wine. But you still have to go out and check. Some of these jobs are physical. I don't know why I keep going with them. Some of you are thinking big. That's what I'm getting. I like the idea, whoever's thinking about the winery, because I've always kind of wanted to do that, but I don't know the first thing about it. But the idea of creating my own wine would just be I don't know. It's just like a fascinating industry to learn about for me. But yeah, your soul's going to be happy with this. So do what makes your soul happy. If you find some type of fulfillment, no matter how that comes, then this might be for you. And so for your moonology, it says, take time to breathe out. I'm loving the blue color in here. Loving it. That's a disseminating moon. If anyone cares, I don't know the difference, honestly. I don't know my astrology. I'm just telling you right now. That's not something I've really, I'm not diving down that rabbit hole yet. But it says, take time to breathe out. So definitely just telling you, hey, you know, sleep on it, breathe on it, meditate on it, whatever you have to do. But whatever answer comes to you about taking this offer, do it. You know, take it or leave it. And the important thing is, your guardian angel here says to stay optimistic. Optimism is important. Again, we've got some more blue in there. I love it. The blue and the white, yeah. Yeah, definitely stay optimistic, whatever you do, because that's just going to continue to bring in these great offers for you. So even if you don't accept this one, there'll be another one. Like, have no fear. Don't worry. Be happy. And then your color card came out completely opposite. It's ruby red. And it's number 8. I forgot to tell you, this card over here was number 12. So that goes to number 3. So some of you trust your instincts, but 3 can be about collaboration. So you might be collaborating with other people with maybe a project that you're doing and you've added people on, or you're working as like a group project or something that you'll be working with other people with. May have a business partner, something of that matter, like something like that. I can't even speak today. So we have Ruby, which is number 8. 8 is strength. And yeah, 8 is strength, which is funny because rubies are the birthstone of July, which is my birthstone, and I'm a Leo. And the strength card is a Leo card. There's a big lion on it, obviously. But this is going to take a lot of strength, inner strength, but you can do it. You ever seen any of those Rob Schneider, Adam Sandler movies? You can do it. Okay, yeah, you can do it. So, a ruby, like maybe wearing this color, wear some ruby red, or have some jewelry or crystals that are ruby red. Maybe some objects or something. I don't know. but it's good for you. It says rejuvenate your body, so rejuvenate. And I think this is part of that getting invigorated for this new position, this new opportunity. It's exciting you like that. It's going to change your life. And it is going to rejuvenate you in a lot of ways. So enjoy it. So I'm going to read, I pulled a Kuan Yin. Kuan Yin is the goddess of the divine feminine. And she tends to, you know, give some great advice. Let me just say, I love this deck. You know, this is what it looks like on the outside. It's absolutely beautiful. The card I pulled for you all today is called Turquoise Lotus Mother. An old pattern is finally ending. You are to be lifted from your struggle, freed from a weight of the past. You have learned all that you needed to learn, and now it is time for relief. Release, divine protection, and the happiness of a healed heart and peaceful soul. That is beautiful. So that old pattern ending, that's probably you getting stuck in the rat race. Some of you, I've talked about people having their spiritual awakenings. I think some of you, your souls are yearning for more, and you're getting rid of these old patterns. You're tired of doing the same old thing. It's time to do something different. And a lot of people are starting these new passion projects and, you know, new businesses and new things. New hobbies. And hobbies can turn into businesses too. So, you know, if you want to do that, go for it. But you're going to be lifted from your struggle. It's just going to take some time. And then to light the mood, Inner Effing Peace deck. I love this. Like no one's watching, or if they are, give it up. Give me Nirvana I can dance to. I love that. And I love how the colors come back. It kind of comes back to the whole rainbow. Love it. So I hope this was helpful in your decision making. Until next time, guys. Bye.